Hi there guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. This is now going to be a breakdown of gold for the week ahead and the week commencing the 18th. I've been very busy recently, so to be honest with you, the YouTube content has been slacking, but I fully intend to get back on top of that now and obviously post consistently. So this video here, as mentioned, is going to be a breakdown of gold. This is the daily time frame, so we're going to start here. And firstly, what I am going to do, just using the daily, is mark some areas that have previously been respected for support and resistance. What I'm going to do with the daily levels, I'm going to put them as blue, and then what we can do following that is look throughout the time frames and see what we're working with. So this would be my first area here. We know that gold is a very structure friendly pair. It is probably the best pair to trade in terms of structure, and it's also usually full of volume, so it does help with tradable opportunities. And this is basically what I would say to do when it comes to gold. If we look here, what can we see? Same again, a level that has been supported pretty much every time it has been hit. You had resistance, support. So if we can get a third bounce into this level with a bit more confluence, that would be great. We also have a big level of support here. Price hit this level about 5 times previously like the others, and we also had a level. You'll see why these levels will be important moving forward, and obviously I will break down the reasoning for that. Same again here. We've got a nice level. You had resistance, break, retest, support. This shows that there is a lot of buying and selling pressure in that area, and that would be something we would look at. So just from a perspective like this, we can see that these daily levels are, looking very strong. I'm just going to draw a couple of confluences on the screen, like for example, this trend line. You can see we did actually have a third touch of this trend line, which is my favorite bounce to take. So I'm realistically going to be taking that off my screen, just because that trend line is now no more use to me. We did see previously that price broke this trend line, came back into the support level and retested before a push down, and that would have been, as you can see, a really nice trade back into these lows down here. So just from an overall perspective of trend lines and my levels, there is not much to go off. If I add my EMAs to the chart, you can see same again. None of my EMAs are trading in and around my level, so it's not something that I am going to purposely actively trade. And my last thing that I can potentially look at is what we call a Fibonacci. If we were to look at the Fibonacci, does it line up with any levels? Yes, it does. We've got a level down here. So what you could potentially do is say that this is an area for the week ahead. So if you are someone watching this video, keep an eye on the 24.85 level, because as you can see, it's a very strong level with potential of a bounce. We also did actually have this level last week, which worked on the 50 Fibonacci. So it's basically an identical play to what we would expect here. You've got your support and resistance area, your 50 Fibonacci, and you could potentially set a pending order at that level if that is the way you wanted to trade. We also have a Fibonacci move from here, and as you can see in this scenario, this further extends this move to the downside like so, because it's obviously a bigger area. So in this whole area here, there is potential for there to be a bounce. We just need to wait and see what happens once price comes into that level. So that's the daily time frame set. The 2480 area for gold looks probably like the best option in my opinion. Obviously, I will wait for a pullback on gold, but a pullback into the 2600 for a retest before pushing further would also be a very good outcome, just from a structure perspective. If we go into the 4-hour chart now, what I'm going to quickly do is just draw a couple of kind of short-term levels that we may see, and then obviously we can use confluences around that to potentially find some areas as well. So straight away off the bat, I can see that price has created this level of support. And if we just change that to purple due to the fact it's a 4-hour level, that would be really great. And as you can see, price has simply created support. So now if we can get a break retest there for a bit of resistance, that would be highly favourable. The daily levels kind of set the tone anyway for the 4-hour, so they're absolutely fine. If you really wanted, you could kind of zone in on the areas like this just to make sure that the 4 hours are a little bit tighter. But to be honest with you, most of them, as you can see here, are usually very tight. So just from a 4 hour perspective, I can see that the trend on the 4 hour is obviously pushing down. If I was to just draw a couple of trend lines just to get a general idea of what price might be bouncing off, this is where we're at. So if you maybe potentially found a bit of confluence there, put a little gold symbol there, that would obviously look like a potentially nice trade. And then you've also got something up here which would look like a nice trade with the third touch. I could also start drawing my Fibonacci's. So Fibonacci from here to here, you can see that this level actually has a 38 Fibonacci. So I could maybe use that as my whole level. It doesn't have to be specifically with the trend line. And then same again, you've got this here. And then if we just draw a Fibonacci now from the top, is there any others? Well, you could say that I've got a second trade idea here, and you could split your pendings like so. So overall, let's now add a couple of EMAs to the mix, just because we want to see what's going on. 2 EMAs pushing into this level of support here, which will become resistance, and that could work really well for gold. So to be honest with you guys, that is basically gold broken down. It looks like you've got a good few opportunities here. You've got the 2480 area, or 2485 if you want to be precise, and then you've also got break retest of the 2600 region, which could really give a nice area, and then a break retest of 2640, which would also be very nice. So that is my gold analysis for the week ahead. I will post the chart in the free group, which is going to be below. And then what I will do is I will see you